Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go.
Hey, happy Wednesday evening, everybody. I thought I'd pop on tonight to give my 2 cents about Tucker. It seems like it's the story that is spreading across the country, and everybody's wondering what's going on and where's Tucker going to go and what happened to Tucker. And for me, this kind of hits home from coming from the media, and obviously not on that level of what Tucker is and was, but from the level that I was at through radio and through broadcasting, and some of the goings on that happen behind the scenes to your favorite talent, how they just there and then all of a sudden they disappear. And thought I'd give my 2 cents in on the subject. Hey, Susie, and welcome everybody. Once again, we're just going to talk about Tucker for a few moments, if you don't mind. And I'd like to hear your thoughts and stuff of what you feel about it. The first thing I thought I had was when I saw Tucker yesterday, a video came out that he was his golf cart in Florida with his wife, laughing, having a good time, like nothing's bothering him. They have a multi-million-dollar beach home in Boca Grande, Florida, and he was shown with his wife riding around on that. And somebody from the Daily Mail asked him, he said, "Hey, how's retirement going?" And he laughed and he smiled and he said, "So far, so good." That to me shows me that this is a man that has a life outside of his career, that he has a strong, solid family life and a good partner behind the scenes. I think that's very important no matter what kind of career we have, life we have. If we have a good, strong partner that backs us up and supports us, that's all it is. To have a life outside of what we do is crucial to our sanity, because in life, you just never know, especially in broadcasting and media. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Hey, Book Girl, it's good to see you. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and you never know. You're great one day and you're the leading anchor or you're the leading person on a channel or a network, and then there's many different things that can happen, and then next thing you know, you're dumped. But Tucker, having his wife by his side, having a strong family unit, having good godly beliefs and stuff is going to get him through this. Obviously, he didn't take it too seriously. That's another thing in this. Good evening, Donna. It's good to see you too. You can't take yourself too seriously in life, no matter what you do, whether you're good at it or not, because really, in this world, as far as broadcasting, you're only as good as your last broadcast, and the higher ups can always change their mind and get rid of you. It could be a change of format. It can be a change of direction. You can have tons of fans, and then your fan base switches up on you or finds the new best, greatest thing. They start following them. Obviously Tucker brought in a lot of money and did a lot of good for that channel. Actually, with the Brian Kilmeade show last night, he only brought in 1.7 million viewers. And whether you like Tucker or not, Tucker used to bring in almost 3 million viewers. That's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of people. That's a lot for one anchor to be able to bring in that many and make that kind of money for people. So Fox News kind of lost a lot with that. It's obviously their decision, and odds are probably aren't going to know much about what happened, because what happens too is you have to sign like a non-compete a lot of times in the industry, which means that if you get let go, or no matter what the reason is, you don't get to compete anywhere else. They usually have a certain amount of time that you have to remain off the air, that you're not allowed to go back, or you can even maybe have to sign a non-disclosure, which means you can't talk about what happened between you and your former employee. And so that happens a lot in the industry. Now, somebody of his caliber, maybe he didn't have to sign a non-compete. Maybe he was like, I'm not going to do that, or they weren't going to make him do that. We don't know. But the thing is, he's really living his best life the last couple of days. And I think that's pretty amazing. Tucker also came out, he published this short little video on Twitter, and he said that he was very optimistic, and he said one of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country, kind and decent people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. And he says at the same time, and this is very poignant and very true, the undeniable big topics get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? So I thought that was a very good point to make. He doesn't seem very worried. He also ended it with, I'll see you soon. So somebody like that, hey, Brian Tucker, it's good to see you. Somebody like that, of his caliber, whether he expected this or not, isn't going to be away for very long. He's got a lot of pull and a lot of reputation in the industry. Like I said, like him or not, you don't have to like somebody for them to be successful. Any kind of noise you make, it can be bad noise and negative noise, and draws in viewers, that draws in ratings as well. People that don't like you, people love to watch people they don't like sometimes. Believe it or not, I saw it a million times in the industry when I was in radio for all those years, that just making noise is important. The thing is, I think that Tucker, no matter what, like I said, you think about him, he was out there, and in a sarcastic way, the way he reported things and talked about things, it was very truthful, in my opinion. You go with somebody now like Don Lemon, who just got let go from CNN. He had bad ratings. He had a reputation for a bad attitude. He had a not a good reputation, a very selfish, egotistical attitude. So, somebody like that, that causes more trouble for somebody, is going to be a lot easier to let go, especially if your ratings tank or suck. So you may like Don Lemon. You may like what he says. We'll see where he ends up too. I think it's kind of ironic that both of them got let go the same day. It's kind of interesting to me. But I just think that it's nice that he can come out and have a good attitude, a positive attitude about this. And, no matter how much money he makes, I mean, it's not like he's hurting for money, of course. But the thing is, he has, in my opinion, a good, reputable reputation. I trust what he has to say. I'm not saying that I agree with everything he has to say, but I like somebody that can fly off the cuff, give their opinion, and have facts to back it up. Anybody can do this. Sit in front of a screen, hold a piece of paper, and read it verbatim. Okay, they're told what to say. They're told how to look. They're told don't go off script. Don't give your opinion. That's not necessarily what we need right now. We need the facts, of course, first and foremost, and no matter what is being reported out there, facts backed up with data, backed up with documents, statistics in front of our eyes, and then you can give opinion. But the problem is, I think out there in the media nowadays, too many people give their opinion, and it's a biased opinion, and that's not reporting the news. News anchors used to have to report neutrally. They used to have to just report the facts. That's all there was to it. You really didn't give your opinion. Anchors, or actually reporters, used to have to go out and field and then get investigative journalists, where they had to go out there and find out sources. They had to name their sources. They had to have backup. Then it had to get approval through the editor and then go to air. Nowadays, anybody can flip a switch, pop on, and say and do whatever they want. In my opinion, journalism has lost a lot of credibility. I think that the news is blues. That's true, Brian. Sometimes it is. But I think that Tucker's gonna end up at a place that where the truth and facts are. Maybe some journalistic reporting will come back like we need it to be. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. It's just truth right now, right? We need to come together as a country in the truth and the facts. So everybody out there, all of us, can make educated decisions and choices for our lives, for our future, for our children's life. When we only get a tilted view of it, some things, there's no way to make an educated choice and decision on that. And that's what's disturbing to me. The other thing that's bothersome is already the producer, a female producer of Tucker's, is coming out slinging shots at him, talking about him poorly and stuff like that. It's ironic. He's not allowed to say anything, but she's out here saying different things about him. It's like, what they try to do now, these corporations, is it's not enough just to let you go. It's not enough to fire you, whatever. They want to trash your reputation, make sure that you don't get a job anywhere else and that you sink. Now it's not just cutting you off financially and from the viewers or what you're putting out there. It's trying to ruin your credibility. And that's a new low that wasn't around back in the day when I was in media. Not only that, there's Fox also came out, a spokeswoman for Fox says what was this on? This is on Trending Topics, came out today. A spokeswoman for Fox News had a dossier of damaging information on Tucker Carlson that she's threatening to release if he criticizes the company. So Tucker's not allowed to say anything about Fox, anything about the company, or she's going to release this supposedly damaging dossier. So my question is, hey, Sharon, it's good to see you too. My question is, if they have all this trash on Tucker and she's got a dossier full of information on him, what in the bejesus were they doing keeping him on board? If this man is a threat to women, and some of it was sexual innuendos that I heard her talking about, and if this was not a good man, this is not somebody that you would want around, why would they keep him on? Where's their moral compass? They're keeping them on. You know why? Or they're going to say, "Oh, ratings and money. That's why." But I don't believe all that, because it's going to get out eventually, right? Eventually, everything, the dark comes to light, truth comes to the light, right? So it's hypocritical for the company, for one, to hold back, and threaten, say, "Hey, you talk about us. This is all going to come out on you." Okay. So maybe he didn't have a non-disclosure. I don't know. I'm just saying those are two of the things that, and the lower league people, like what I was in, used to happen back in the day, but things have probably changed immensely by now. But that's just my experience. So they're going to keep somebody on board that they know is trouble. Supposedly, they're going to keep somebody on board that makes multi-millions of dollars, somebody that they don't believe in the same beliefs that the company has. They're going to keep them, right? And why? The only reason would be because he makes so much money for them, that he brings in the funds, he brings in the viewership. And not only that, Fox not only lost half of their viewers with that Brian Kilmeade show, they lost the major demographic, which was the demographic, which is a big demographic always for radio and TV, is women, or the demographic of 25-54. It can be women and men too, but 25-54 demographic is a big demographic. Why? Because they're established people. They usually have funds, they have jobs, they have education. They're the ones that will spend money. They're the ones that will support channels. They're the ones that usually will speak up and speak out and have some experience in life, and will support people and companies, and they will follow them. So that demographic is the right demographic, 25-54. So they lose them. They plummeted in that demographic. So he was only able, the numbers are here. Tucker and Kilmeade was only able to attract 149,000 viewers from that key demographic. CNN managed to beat Kilmeade out with 163,000. MSNBC got 162,000 viewers, clearly showing that without Tucker, Fox is tanking in those demographics. On Tucker's show Thursday, he brought in 334,000 viewers from that age frame. Okay, so 334,000 viewers he would bring in. Kilmeade lost over half of that audience, approximately 55% of that demographic. Those are huge, devastating numbers to a company. When you start going to numbers and demographics, which is what it's all about, that's how people keep their jobs or lose their jobs. That's why ratings come out. There's different ratings that come out all the time. That's why I always say you're only as good as your last broadcast. You're only as good as your last ratings period, because you have a reputation of being strong for years. And like I said, if your fan base flips, or if new management takes over, they come in, and it's in other jobs too. They wipe everybody out. It doesn't matter if you've been loyal. It doesn't matter if you're established. And that's why you see a lot of these people shimmer and shammer all around. The interesting thing is Glenn Beck, who wants Tucker with the Blaze TV. Glenn Beck went through some similar situations with Fox News. He's been out there talking about that as well. He said, I'll have Tucker over here anytime. And then I think it was Newsmax or OAN, one of the two, also are already putting an appeal out there. They want to get their hands on Tucker. But in my opinion, it'll be interesting to see where he shows up. Wherever he shows up, I think it's going to be bigger and better. Sometimes change is really good. Getting out of that comfort zone, standing by your morals and values too, because, Fox News just settled that multi-million-dollar settlement with the D guys. Remember the computer people? I don't want to say their names. They just settled that, and then 2 days later, this with Tucker. Also, speaks a lot about things that I think that Murdoch doesn't agree with, isn't comfortable with. Glenn Beck was talking about that as well. So you've got a couple of these major leaguers, major hitters in this industry coming out, standing up for what's right. I believe, with Tucker, whether he saw it coming or not, I don't think it was about money because he made a lot of money. I don't think it was that. I really believe that Tucker really, maybe he expected it, or maybe, he kind of allowed it in the fact that it set him free. And, sometimes you just have to go and you have to follow your heart, your morals, your values, and change is good. Sometimes you just, you have coworkers and you have a certain standard of beliefs, and that the company or the coworkers just don't believe in that anymore. And sometimes it's just best to leave, whether they let you go or you leave on your own accord. So I'm looking forward, like I said, once again, to see where he shows up. I think that it's great, once again, that he has a supportive person behind a wife, a long time wife, 30 years, I think they've been married. And I really think that is important. Like I said, you guys watching or listening, no matter what we do in life with our careers, when we go to make changes or we lose a job, it is so important to have somebody that supports you, even if it's a friend. If you don't have a wife or a husband or a partner, a good supportive friend, somebody that has your back, that will give you good, solid advice. Even if you seek a pastor out or somebody you entrust, to get that sound advice and wisdom. Because to be honest, when you lose a job, you don't feel like it, you deserved it. That's a blow to the ego. That's a hit to our personality. That's a hit on us. And we think, man, I gave it all. Those, SOBs, I can't believe they did this to me. You need somebody to level that out and help straighten you out, because we are all only human, and we feel the pain. Then we go into the stress about finding another job. Will we be able to make ends meet? Will be able to pay the bills? And, we all know the journey of life, right? With jobs in the careers, it can change in a moment. So I just think that Tucker was a good example of, hey, they let him go. Fair or not, he's living his best life. Why? Because he's got family support, he's got a good spouse supporting him, and he has a life outside of his career. We live to work, and we don't work just to live. That's a problem. We should not be controlled by work. And I know a lot of us have to work many hours, and we have to make ends meet. But the bottom line is, when we are off and we're at home, Instead of spending that complaining about work, or gosh, I wish this would end, or gosh, I need these bills paid. Take those few moments at home with whoever you're with and enjoy that downtime. Don't waste that time and that space stressing or worrying about your job and your bills. Just, you need that sense of calm, that sense of, I am working hard, but it's for a reason. It's not going to last forever. We have goals in mind. I'm working hard to get to these goals, instead of being so obsessed about what you're doing in your job. Because I've never, ever seen or heard anybody say, God, I'm glad that I spent my whole working. I'm glad that I worked my butt off and I never spent time with family and friends or taken a vacation. I've never heard that. So we have to find that balance. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, if you make multi-millions of dollars or you barely make enough to make our ends meet, we are all human. And we all need that sense of importance, that sense of existence, that sense of just belonging. And that's all there is to it. So however we can do that and be good people and support people, it's really important. And know that change is going to come. With your jobs, change is going to come. I think the days of being starting at the bottom of a company and working your way up because you're loyal, you get raises, you get benefits and all that, those are slim and none. It's hard to find those anymore. I know my dad was an auto worker, and it was easy back then. You got in there and you had a good living, you worked hard, whether you were on the line or in the office, it didn't matter. But once you got in, you were pretty much established. And later on, near retirement, is when a lot of them started shutting down. And a lot of them got forced into retirement. They were offered packages, or taking a lesser position at a lesser pay, whatever the case may be. So I was really sad to see that deteriorate in the auto industry and the auto company, because that was a very good job for people to have. And I think we need to bring that back, where you start with a company, a small company, you work your way up and you have a sense of loyalty, a sense of you become family. And we've gotten away from that out there in these big corporations. And it's very sad to me, because there's no sense of loyalty. There's no sense of appreciation a lot of times. So if you can find that, if you're lucky enough to find that in the place that you're working, be grateful for that, because it's slim and none. I actually saw a video on this evening with a store that you walk into and you walk through. It's all this technology, and you put your credit card in and your ID, and then you can go into the store. There's not anybody in this store. And it was on Twitter, this video, and you could buy anything you want. All you have to do is go up on the shelf, see it, you pull it down, and then you scan it and you're out. Well, you think, well, how come people aren't stealing? How does that work? Well, when the person showed the video and looked up, there were tons of scanners up there and tons of cameras. It reminded me of Vegas, because that's the Vegas casinos. That's what they can do, right? They can see you and see every inch of that casino. It's nothing goes without being seen in a casino. So that's what they're doing with technology in these stores. I think, my God, they're spending a fortune on all this just to not have employees. Why wouldn't you have employees? So, I'm thinking, all right, they don't want employees. They want all these electronics. They want no humanness, no interaction, no sense of thanks for shopping here at my store, no greeting. It's just go in, it's robotic, it's very antisocial, and you get out. So you have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? That's just something to ponder. That, like I said, if you have a small family business, or if you're a farmer or you're something like that, you have a community where you work and people, and you develop that consistency around the team effort, that's pretty amazing. And you should appreciate that, because it's going away, and it's going away fast. Seeing that store, it just gave me the chills, because I thought, my gosh, the amount of money that it costs to run all this equipment and these electronics and these cameras, compared to having the social interaction, good employees that can make sure the stock is okay, make sure, rotate it, and all the things that the human touch does in these stores. And they have none of it. It's cold, and it's just awful. You ask yourself, like I said, ask yourself why they're doing it. I have no clue why they're doing it. Maybe you do. I don't want to be deep in but there is a reason. I'm kind of have a feeling of I know why, but I can't say 100%. Just very sad to me. Destroying the family unit, destroying the sense of community is what it seems like a lot of corporations are all about, because it would be very easy for a lot of these major corporations to have community feel to their stores. You know what I mean? Instead of everything sourced out and people working in these stores because they have to make ends meet. They're not happy to be there. They're overworked. They're not appreciated. It would be very easy for these corporations to be good to the people, be good to their employees, and reward them. It's hard to find that. There's some corporations that do. They're not bad. Like the Chick-fil-A Corporation here is a big deal. The headquarters are here, and the owners and the people are here, the Cathy family. And you can go to a Chick-fil-A here, and though these young kids, they do have mentor programs. They do have great forward motion into the company. They do treat them well. I mean, they're all dressed nice. They're happy. The Chick-fil-A lines here are insane all the time, but they have plenty of workers on hand. You get through the lines pretty fast. So I will say Chick-fil-A, they do a pretty good job of taking care of their people. So that's one company I can say that does it. But plenty of companies out there that the employees they have, just you can tell, really don't care and don't want to be there. And that's sad to me. We need to change that. So that's really all I wanted to cover tonight real quick was Tucker and that. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. And I will see you all soon, and take care. God bless. And I will definitely see you soon. Take care. Thanks for joining me tonight.